Okay, we are now in week 12 of 24 at the halfway point of January to June, the road to exams 2026. Now we have a mechanics question here. We've got some stuff to do with vectors and variable acceleration and things like that. And I hope you'll find this question a little bit straightforward, but there might be a couple of tricky parts, particularly in part B as well. Now, I should mention at this stage that next week I will be running my Aiming for A-Star sessions, which take place on Zoom. These are paid events where I'll be looking at things for mechanics, statistics, pure. I've got things for further maths as well. And they're a great way of doing some revision in the Easter holidays. Students have found these really, really useful in the past. And if you're interested in those, you can see a link in the description, and it might be something that you think would be good to try and get you a few extra marks as we build up to the exams this summer. So let's get started with this question. It says, at time t seconds where t is greater than or equal to 0, a particle has position vector r meters with respect to a fixed origin O, where r is equal to this. Now, it's not immediately clear that this is going to be variable acceleration, but because these two functions that we have for the I and j components of the position vector are in terms of t, when we're going to come to the acceleration part, that's also going to be something that is in terms of t as well. So we just need to figure out how are we going to go in part A of the question to find the acceleration from a position vector to an acceleration. Now, hopefully you remember that to go from a position or a displacement, we differentiate it to get to the velocity. If we differentiate it again, we will find the acceleration. So the instructions for this first one are really going to be differentiate it twice to find the acceleration. Now, I personally always prefer these being written in column form. I just find it is a more simple way to think about what is going on in this question. So I'm going to go from the position vector to the velocity. That means differentiate with respect to time. I don't even really need to describe that I'm doing that. It's going to become obvious by what I'm doing here. So t cubed is going to differentiate to 3t squared, and 8t will differentiate to 8. A third t cubed, I'll bring that 3 down so it just becomes a 1 and reduce the power by 1, so that's a t squared. We then get a minus 2t and a plus 2 for this part. I will then differentiate it one more time to get an expression for the acceleration. 3t squared will go to 6t and the 8 will go to nothing. T squared in the j component will go to 2t, and we have the minus 2 for that part that we've got there. Now, I want us to find the acceleration when t is equal to 4. So when t is equal to 4, I will just substitute that into the acceleration expression. We'll have 6 times 4, which is 24, and 2 times 4 minus 2, that's 8 minus 2, which is 6. And because they've done it in I and j, I would probably write my final answer as 24i plus 6j, and we've got meters per second squared for this part that we've got here. Now the second part says, at time t seconds where t is greater than 0, p is moving in the direction of 2, 1. It doesn't mean that its velocity is 2, 1, but it means that its velocity is parallel to this vector. And think to yourself, how we show that two vectors are parallel, it is when they are multiples of each other. So for part B of the question, we are saying that the velocity is going to be some multiple of 2, 1. And we've actually already got what the velocity is here. I'm just going to use capital T. If you use lowercase t, it won't really make a difference at all. So I have my 3 capital T squared minus 8, my t squared minus 2t plus 2. That is my velocity. And I'm going to try and find out at what time it will be parallel to 2, 1. So the right-hand side, obviously, is just going to become, if I do that a little bit neater, we're just going to have the 2k, and the k like this. So as I compare the I components, 3t squared minus 8 is 2k, and t squared minus 2t plus 2 is equal to k. And all we really need to do here is solve these equations simultaneously to find out what t is equal to. And we can see here we know what k is equal to, so I will just substitute that expression where that is. So that is 3t squared minus 8 is equal to 2 lots of t squared minus 2t plus 2. And great, we've got a quadratic equation, which we're just going to solve and find out what t is. 3t squared minus 8 equals 2t squared minus 4t plus 4. Okay, I'll subtract the 2t squared from the 3t squared just to get t squared. I will add on the 4t, and I will do minus 8 minus 4 to get minus 12. I could put this in the calculator, but this looks really easy to factorize. It looks like it's going to be a t plus 6 and a t minus 2. So either t is equal to minus 6 or t is equal to 2. It doesn't make sense to have a negative time in this question. One, because they've told us that t is greater than or equal to 0, but also it doesn't really make sense to have a negative time for this. So the answer for part B should be that t is 2 seconds. And for part A, we've got 24i and 6j. Let's see that we got this right. The 24i plus the 6j, and we have that t is equal to 2 for this part. So, like I said, if you are interested in coming to my mechanics aiming for A-star session, that I think is taking place either next week or the week after, you can have a look at the information in the description. I won't just be going through questions like this, I'll be explaining things a lot more, giving tips and tricks about how to identify what the topics are, and people in the past have found those really very useful. Next week, for week 13, we have a really quite tricky integration by substitution question. And yeah, come back next week and see if you can answer this question.